This is live, and it's open to anyone, so I don't know who this viewer is. And okay. Oh, hey, man.
Dude.
Sorry, man. This is like one of the first times I've used Hangouts on air.
I've never used Hangouts on air, so it's all good, man.
All right, that's good. Well, we're in this together, I guess, eh?
Yeah. You just want me to follow along with you?
Yeah. I'll give you a quick introduction of what a little bit of what I've done, and then just jump in, say any questions that you like. Sharing the screen right now. We go to. You should be looking. So on my screen, you should be seeing the random tip generator. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the GitHub project that's under the NCW newbie coder warehouse, and yeah, so that's so this is it. Recently, I added some more stuff to it. Before it was just a README file. And then I added the index, HTML, script.js, and style.css. Since you've been working on the codepen, this is a good way to kind of see, to use like how you have the codepen. You can just put all your code in these specific places, right? So on codepen, you have an HTML side, you have a script side, and you have a style side. And so when you're going through this, you can actually just copy paste the code you have. And then do a pull request. So I'm gonna go through that today with you and see how you can do with that. So so like let's say like I'm gonna look at a commit here, right? So I did a commit. Don't worry if you don't know what a commit is. So I'm gonna click on the commit. So last night I did a quick commit and I connected the style .css and script.js to the index, which is pretty simple. I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. And
you're talking about style sheets going to the HTML code, right? Basically.
Yeah. So the style is going to be independent. It's going to it's a different file, right? So if I go back, if you notice, I have a README. Right? I have a README, and then I have the script.js and style.css. The style.css is a folder. This is all just one folder. There's no extra folders to go into.
Okay.
So all the scripts that we're calling is basically on one folder. Usually we do like a CSS folder, and then we put all the CSS we put in there, and like a JavaScript folder, or we call it assets. We have like an asset folder. But for this tutorial, and just for our project, it's just better just to put them all in the same place because CodePen has it this way, and it'll just make it easier. We could change it later if you like to, and add folders specifically for different assets. But since it's like a one-page deal, we don't have to worry about like adding all kinds of other extra stuff.
Okay, yeah, this makes sense now.
Okay, so yeah, just good. Just keep asking questions when you have them. So like here, like
this is being recorded, isn't it?
This is actually this is being recorded right now as we speak.
All right, good. Okay, yeah, that's like what does that red dot mean?
Yeah, man, this is live.
This is awesome.
So yeah, whatever we say, it's gonna be put together, and hopefully people like it. And yeah.
All right, let's keep this very mature and professional.
I'll try, but I can't make any promises.
Whatever, Dad. Whatever. It's all good. It's all good.
It's working out. So, but yeah, we have all the files, and so we have index, script, and style.css. If we let's say I made a commit, right? And a commit is basically when I changed some stuff on the files, and then and I did this locally, and then I changed the files, and I'll click on the commit. You can see all of the commits that I did. So from the beginning, you see right here, usually we call it an initial commit. So when I started off with this, it only had a README. See that? Like there's only one file, and it's the README. Okay, and you can see you can see right here, this is a small project for a couple of newbies, and it tells you like everything in that specific file.
Okay.
And then on the second commit, I added the basic files. Remember I was telling you that I added an issue, and that issue's on we'll talk about that later, but I added an issue and said, hey, we just need a couple of, filler files just to start. So if you click on the second one, right, so I added the index, And then you can see all the script on the right. Right? You can see that, like HTML head body.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote some quick, some quick filler code. It's not like, oh, this is my code, you got to use my code, or it's just quick filler so you can kind of see the process and see how it's like green. All of that's green because it's like it's a new file, right? And you see like it's all green, like every line is green, meaning that we added all these new lines.
Mm-hmm.
The same for the script. So if you see, we added only one line, which is right here, right? This is where the JavaScript goes. We added one line. And on style.css, we added one line. This is where the CSS goes. I didn't put any CSS. I just wanted to get some quick basic files. So then on the you see that it says add the file.
Okay. Yeah, I was while you were talking a little while ago, I actually kind of looked at it. So this is exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, this is good stuff. Now, where would you see the, I guess, the completed project? I guess all that combined into a, website locally or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So the goal that I want to do this with, and we can go over this as we go along, is a GitHub page. I want to make this a GitHub page because it's free. Mm-hmm. We can host all these files on GitHub. Mm. If we want, we can change the domain. We don't need to have it like newbiecoderwarehouse.github.io // I think it's whatever random tip generator. We could change the name if you want. I mean, if you want to buy a domain name, or if you have a domain name, or we can whatever you want to do with that. So with GitHub pages, we can host all of this because it's a static website. Yeah. GitHub hosts like static websites. When it becomes like a database, like a Ruby, like a Rails app, then we need we can't do it on GitHub. Like we can't do like we can't make the pages live on GitHub.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So it'll only be live if it was, I guess, front end stuff like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and whatever else there is.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Like there's like static servers like Harp. Mm-hmm. Harp and they have Jekyll, but don't worry about that too much. We could add like a static server if we need a server for this page, but this project's so small we don't really need a server to house all this. And when I was thinking about it, we can use JSON to put all the data, like all the different tips. It's pretty easy, so we don't really need like an actual huge database because all we're doing is just like randomizing coding tips. So like, I mean, if it gets huge, then I guess, but I mean, like, for the most part, it should be okay. Like, even having 100 tips on a JSON should be okay. But I don't think we need a database because we don't have users. We're not having people like log in. We're not adding all kinds of different functionality. We're doing one thing. So it should be fine. But we'll talk about the JavaScript and like what we can do with that and how we go about putting in the different records and then randomizing. I did a little research of that today, and I'll let you know like if we can do it in this session or the next, whatever. We can do that. So yeah, man. That's the second commit, and good questions. That's the second commit there. Mm-hmm. And then so if we go back, so the last commit, the commit I did today, in the morning or early morning, is I connect the style.css and the script.js to the index file. I forgot to do that, or I just didn't even think about it at the time, right? So just so you can see a little bit of how the little workflow works here, it's like here's index.html, and you can see that I did a link, right? I did a link to the style.
Link style sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I added another script. I added the script at the bottom of the body, just so the script can run at the end. Yeah. So this is one style that we use. So it's just one different kind of style that putting the script at the bottom. Mm-hmm. A lot of front-end developers do that, especially with certain like JavaScript files. They want to let's run it from the bottom. There's different ways of doing it, and different. I can't really go into them because I don't completely know every single reason why they do. Like, because you could put the script in the beginning, at the end. You can have it like with Rails, put it all together in one little ASCII file. However, there's just so many different ways to do it. But for this, yeah.
It's just to really optimize the speed of the page. That's really all it is, man. It all depends on what you have in there as well. But because I have a blog and this has options for me to put in the bottom or the top, but don't worry about it. I mean, you're probably going to save yourself maybe a millisecond or two or even a second. So it's not that big of a deal.
Right, right. So yeah, I mean, we're newbies. It's not a big deal. I'm not really worried about it.
I don't like that word. I don't like that word, noobs, man.
There's a lot of times where I'm like, dude, I'll overthink this shit, and I'll just be like, man, well, what if I can do it properly, and what if I'm missing something? I'm like, man, dude, just do it now, and like the boss will yell at me later.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I put it on the bottom. We could change it, however, later if you like I said. And so yeah, on the script, I just added a quick. I don't know how much JavaScript you know, but I just added
I know that alert page, little pop up. Yeah,
just a quick alert. Just so I just wanted to make sure the JavaScript worked and that all my scripts were working and stuff like that. Just a quick one. And then on the style.css, I put a background gray just to kind of make sure that everything works. So that's part of the just really just to do something really quick to kind of you can see the flow here. See now you see the red there on the left hand side.
I see that.
Yeah, so like they tell you which lines get off, or which lines are like removed and then which lines are put back in. I don't know why, because I have it here. For some reason they made it red and they made it green, but it's not a big deal. But just so you know, an overview of what Git does and how it works. You can see like let's say if I change some of your code and like there's like a command called git blame. So
Git what?
Git blame. Like you can run a command because there's I'll show you a little bit. I'll do a quick little run through to show you a little bit of what how Git works.
Okay, now can you just go back? Like, how did you get to all of those in one? Was it just a view? Because I'm on the thing where it says, over me index script style. So how did you get to all of that where you can see all of those, different languages?
Good question. Okay, yeah. So if you're on the main page, right?
Yeah.
And
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, on your. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving or
I can.
Right here, there's 3 commits. So right below the header, where it shows the title of the project. So you got a little box. There's 3 commits, 1 branch, 0 releases, 1 contributor. Click on the 3 commits. You can see every single commit, or at least the commits on the master branch. Don't worry if you don't understand what a master branch is yet. But just a quick, master branch is just the main branch you're working off of. So, GitHub works like a tree. You can make other branches that will not be added to the specific project, to the master branch, but you can add that branch later. So don't worry too much about it right now. A master branch is just the main branch that you use.
Right.
And so here's the master branch. You can click on commits to see what I've done or whatever you've done.
Okay. So is that how you got to all of those at once?
Yes. Click on the latest one. You can click on it, and then you can see on the left-hand side the code before, and then on the right-hand side the code after. So green obviously means that the additions. And then red means the subtractions, whatever has been taken out.
Okay, I see now.
Yeah, man, this is really good when you're doing code and you're like, oh man, what did I do wrong here? You learn some kind of new code, and then somehow you erase it on accident, Yeah. But when you save it, when you commit it, then it already has a record of it, so you can go back and be like, oh shit, okay, I see, I erased that. That's why it's not working. So that's why I think that Git and GitHub and all of that is really important for newbies too, because once it's gonna suck if you get in a point where you're like, oh my god, why isn't this working? And it comes down to the fact that you just accidentally deleted something, or and it just sucks, man. Especially when I was learning CSS, I was like, what the hell happened? Everything just was gone, And then I realized, oh, okay, like I accidentally erased something or whatever else. Forever.
Dude, I hate CSS.
And I just,
I don't know what it is. I just can't stand it.
I'll be honest.
It's like that annoying ex-girlfriend, right? That's been trying to get back with me for 5 years.
Well, yeah, I've been off and on with CSS for the longest time, man. I agree, man. It can get really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I'm starting to love it now. You know, it's just like, you know, it's like an old marriage. You know, I guess I just learn to accept, you know, the changes and and learn to accept, you know, that I'm different and the code is different than how I would like to see it. You know, but that's the way I look at it. Yeah, so you just never know what's going to happen, and GitHub really helps make sure that it keeps, you know, those arguments in line. You know, and the girl's like, oh, you know, you said this, but you know, no, I didn't say that. You know, you can look at the git blame and see you can see who to blame, right? He's like, no, you didn't say this, but you took it out later on in a different commit or something, you know? So,
right. Yeah.
So yeah, man. So that's a little bit about the commits and like kind of what I've done. Don't worry if you just don't understand it completely. I just want to give you a nice little rundown so you can kind of feel a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna watch my screen. I'm gonna go through it. Okay. And when it's your turn, then you just walk through it and just talk me through it, and it'll keep your screen on the thing for now. Okay. And then I'll jump in whenever I feel like I need to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So so let's just go to my screen. Can you see my screen right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So from here, like let's say we want to change the style.css. All you need to do is click on style.css.
Mm-hmm.
After you click on it, it'll show you the code that I already have here. Right? Let's say that from here, I want to add my own code. So there's these options: raw, blame, history. Don't worry about that. But right here it says, don't worry about that. Open this file on GitHub desktop. I think it's an extra app. Don't worry about that. But see that little edit? It says edit this file. So you click on edit this file. Then it'll open up an editor. See that?
Mm-hmm.
From this editor, if I want to, I can change, like I could put, you know, like let's say I want to change it to the background yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So right here, you can copy paste all your code. Like let's say, you know, all the code you have right now, which you've been working on, you can copy and paste all the CSS. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then after you do that, all you have to do is go down. See how, remember when the little commit thing that I was talking to you about, like the commit message that I gave you? Add the, it was, but you can just write a quick like changed, or don't use ed, just say change CSS to current code, whatever. Yeah. How do you do that? You can add additional. This is optional. It doesn't really matter. And then here you can just commit it to the master branch. Like we don't need to make any new branches. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know your code, you know my code. I mean, we're working together. It's not, you know, I don't need to branch it and whatever else. And then after that, you just click commit changes, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and look at your page. So go ahead and do the screen share and walk me through what you're doing, and then I'll stop you whenever. Okay, so what you've done so far is that you took the code from CodePen, and then you copy pasted it into the directly from the GitHub repository, and now you're just adding a commit.
All right. So add the HTML code.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're basically working on the same thing. I just forgot to put up the JavaScript code in there, and that's something I'm still kind of learning. So I was going to take my time with it. All right. So then what? After this, I can see exactly I can see the updated file for this, right? Like the updated.
Yeah, you can only see the updated file, but you cannot see like basically. Well, you cannot see like the actual project, right? What it looks like. Like you have your version on CodePen, and then now we have the actual repository version of it. Now, what I can do now, which is kind of interesting, is you can watch my screen this time. I'm going to change it to mine, right?
Yeah. Newbie Code Warehouse.
Okay, cool. All right, so you can see my desktop, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what I can do now, right, is this is the GitHub. This is like the Git shell, right? And in that shell is where I can do all those Git commands I was telling you about. So don't worry if it looks all scary for now. This will look a lot better later. See if I can kind of. Oh, I can't see. Okay, I'm going to do a clear. Okay.
What is that, Linux?
Sorry?
What is that, Linux? This blue screen, what is that?
I'm using Windows 8, and then the terminal is a Windows PowerShell.
Okay.
It works. I like it. Have no problems with it. So here I'm going to do a quick ls. You see here, like right now I have an old version of this. This is what's important about Git and stuff like that. You gotta make sure that you always have a new version, because this is a local. What I'm showing you right now is a local version of this site, right? So ls will show me all the files. Clear that out. Now I'm going to open up the files personally, and here I have it right here. Actually, go to GitHub. These are all my. Look at all these projects I'm working on. So.
Oh wow, it's a lot.
So let me see. We are in the random. Okay, so random tip generator. I'm gonna open that up. So these are the files I had from this morning, right? You can see where they were modified, and then since you changed the code, that's why you guys always got to be. People have to be like in communication, because when the code changes, things you got to make sure you have the new updated version, right? So.
Right.
Let me open up the index. So this is what the index looked like before, right? Just the stuff that I put the gray background, and I put a couple of buttons right there, right? And here's the JavaScript alert. I click that, I'm an alert box, right? So now we changed all of that, and I need to get the new code, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my GitHub, the PowerShell, right? And I'm going to do a git pull, okay? Now a git pull will grab all the files from the repository and give me the new versions of all that. Okay, so I'm going to click enter. PowerShell takes a little while. That's all right. Okay, so what PowerShell did right now is it did a fast forward, and it grabbed all the stuff that that you updated.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Now I do a quick git, do a quick ls. All the files are still there. And then I do a git status. Okay. Everything's up to date. If I do a git log, I can see boom. See that? You see your name?
Yeah, I see it.
So here we have the add updated CSS and adding email code. Okay. If I clear that out. So if you do it, so the git log will show everything that we've done, right? Remember I talked about the initial commit, add basic files, whatever else I added, okay? All the way up until the last HTML code. So now, if I look at the files, I don't know if you can see here, but the dates have been modified, right? All the stuff that you've done recently have been added.
Yep.
If I go to the, here, right, the index, I do a refresh.
Yeah.
Boom. Now I got your code. Okay.
Cool.
Now I have the updated version of the code. I can play around with it here, and now we, you can go back and check the commit, see what you've added, what you've taken out, and everything's ready and up to date. So, like, let's say you're working on it, and let's say I say, hey, can you finish? I don't know, styling one of the buttons, right? And so you finish doing a style on one of the buttons. Then you can commit that. You can do it on GitHub like I showed you. It's easy, and that's fine. You don't have to do it locally like I'm doing it until you get a little more comfortable. And then you just do, you save it and it automatically saves. And then I just let me know that you updated some code, or even before, just let me know like, hey, I'm working on this and that particularly, like just to make sure that we're not working on the same thing or whatever else, right? And then yeah, I just do a git pull like you saw, and I pulled all the resources, and now I have a new version of it.